Hi, it's Vega here, and I'm doing the vlog from my phone again because my photo booth hasn't been working. So I'll try to make this, quick and effective. Basically, this week we looked at the movies Awake, The Life of Yoganada, and The Jazz Singer. And at first, I want to go into Awake. Basically, the story Awake, is a biography of Yoganada, who is this famous Indian monk who promotes meditation and Kriya yoga meditation. And he, as a baby, he's told that he's going to become this spiritual great person who spreads the word meditation and of this religion. And he ends up actually establishing a school in India, becomes a very prominent man, very respected man. And although his life is very satisfied there, and he's satisfied with teaching the people there in India, he ends up having these visions. And these visions, he actually has a lot. We'll go into that a little bit. But he has this vision of going to America and spreading, his religion, and he ends up going to America, and he goes to Boston, actually, Massachusetts. And he ends up starting to give lectures to thousands of Americans, and he promotes these lectures as actually scientific findings using hypothesis and conclusion and the scientific process and all that, because he knows that it'll be more widely accepted if it's science to Americans rather than it being a religious concept, because then it's placed in this box of it's just religion. But anyway, he becomes a very prominent person, and he spreads the word of Kriya yoga meditation, and it becomes very popular in the United States and in Los Angeles, and he's traveling across the United States lecturing and establishing his teachings, while also still having the school in India. But anyway, the magical part of Yoganada, I think, is that he is a hero and going on his own hero's journey, himself. He even has magical powers, in a sense. He has visions, and they allow him to see the future. Just as if, he visioned himself going to America and ended up being there to do lectures. He knew that it was his destiny, and everything for him is predestined. He even has a vision when his mother is dying, and he's he's with his father somewhere else. They're separated, and his mother is telling him to come to me. I need you to come to me. And he knows that it's her time, and hours later she passed away. And so he has these visions, and he was predestined to become a monk and found a school, and he ended up doing that, which I thought was very interesting concept of predestiny and how he actually accomplished it. But the movie I really want to talk about is The Jazz Singer. The Jazz Singer is a 1927 American music film. It's the first feature-length film with not only synchronized music score, but also synchronized lip singing as well. And our protagonist, Jakey Rubin, I cannot pronounce his name, I'm sorry. Rabinowitz, is a jazz singer, and it's his dream to be a jazz singer. He ends up, secretly singing jazz behind his father's back, because his father is a cantor for the rabbi. Now, the cantor was traditionally, a temporary position. Like, a volunteer would come and be the cantor that night, and he would lead the congregation in singing the prayers. The cantor sang the prayers. But in recent centuries, become a more formalized position. The cantor is usually a member of the clergy that is along with the rabbi, and he ends up singing, on Yom Kippur during their congregations and their prayers, and he sings the Kol Nidri. And the Kol Nidri is declaration recited on the beginning of the evening of the service of Yom Kippur, and it originated in the late first millennium, and it basically says like what you will avoid doing, what you vow to do until next year. And it's just like a melody that the cantor sings on this holiest day. And basically his father wants him to be on the cantor, and ends up beating him when he finds him singing jazz, and that caused Jackie to actually run away from home, and instead he becomes a jazz singer. Instead, he changes his name to Jack Robin, and he gets discovered by this musical theater dancer, Mary Dale, who ends up introducing him to the world of music and of plays and just the industry. And he falls in love with it, and it's what he wants to do. He ends up actually getting accepted onto a play where he actually would do blackface, and while he's about to do this play, his mother and his family come back and tell him that his father's on his deathbed and cannot sing for this Yom Kippur. He can't sing the Kol Nidri, or the all vows. And at first he, says he's not going to do it. He's going to stick with his play. It's his destiny. It's what he's worked so hard for. And no one believed him, but here he is about to make it happen. But instead, after, of course, his mom sees him sing, and his mother's like, wow, this is what he's meant to do. This is what God put him on his earth to do. But on the night of his performance, the opening night, he can't make it. He decides, I have to go to my congregation. I have to go on Yom Kippur and sing with my father, because he can't sing the Kol Nidri. He knows it's too important. And I can think of this tradition of singing and especially on this holy day of Yom Kippur, and especially this certain vow that they're singing, that being a ritual process in itself. They do it every year. It has certain requirements. There's intense prayer, there's fasting, there's the sealing of the book of life. They go through this whole ritual just to say that I vow not to do something, or I vow something for a whole year. And I think that is such a beautiful ritual within itself. And I thought the movie did a great job of portraying that. It's a little difficult for me to watch at times because it is, an older movie, black and white, and there wasn't dialogue a lot. But as I got through it, I realized that the movie does contain great, elements, like how they did show the music within the film. I really liked. And as for him doing blackface makeup, he was an actor that was loved by the the African American community. And at the time period, it's a different time period than it is now. It probably wouldn't be as accepted now as it was then. But overall, I liked the movie, and I liked both movies overall. And just want to thank you for watching my vlog, and just want to say have a great day, guys.